Chapter 9. I shoved my head out the door and peered up the sidewalk. There he stood in his kilt-wearing glory. The Java Heaven employee handed him a sample. "Hope you like it." "Thank you," Malcolm said. "I'm quite fond of coffee. There was a particular blend in Egypt that was only picked by moonlight and only served to pharaohs. I wasn't around then, but I've been told that the moon's reflection could be seen in the brew." "Wild. Well, have a nice day." I pretended to clean the window as the employee returned to Java Heaven. Then I hurried up the sidewalk. Hello again. Malcolm, right? What's that? It looks like coffee. Yep, that looks like a sample cup of coffee. Is that what it is?" Smooth. Throw acting into the closet of failure. He held the tiny cup. Chocolate shavings adorned a miniature dollop of whipped cream. A peppermint stick stuck out the top. It looked like a candy straw. Would those evil Java Heaven elves stop at nothing? Who, in their right mind, would resist such a concoction? Malcolm cleared his throat, breaking my hungry stare. "You seem to be wanting this." He balanced the cup in his palm. "Oh, careful!" I tried to snatch it, but he moved out of reach. "You want this, that's for sure." He frowned. "Why should I give it to you? You wouldn't listen to me." I looked over my shoulder to make certain no one from Java Heaven was eavesdropping. Irmgard and Grandma Anna, however, pressed their faces against the picture window. "If you give that to me, then you'll have given me what I most desire." "Excellent answer. That's what you want, right? That's the law, right?" He shifted his weight. The cup wobbled precariously. "You told me that fortune was what you most desired." "I was confused. I didn't know. But now I know. What I actually desire is that cup of coffee." My fingers twitched. I just wanted to grab it. Would the coffee be flavored with something exotic, like organic Ecuadorian free trade rainforest-saving cinnamon? "A wee cup of coffee is what you most desire? But you work in a coffee shop. Why would you want this particular cup? Is it special in some way?" "Just give it to me," I said through clenched teeth. "Please." "I suspect you're trying to trick me, just like you did with the pencil." His expression remained serious. "I'm not. I'll give it to you under one condition." "What?" "After I complete my delivery, you will tell me what you most desire. No deceptions." "Fine. Whatever." I took the cup. "I'll be back." He switched his satchel to the other shoulder, then walked up the sidewalk, his kilt sashaying with each long step. His calf muscles bulged. Messengers probably needed strong legs, and his legs had just the right amount of hair. Probably soft hair, not prickly like Vincent's legs when the hair started to grow back after swim meet. "Oh my God, did you see him? He's so cute." "Who is he?" Heidi Darling rounded the corner arm in arm with a couple of girlfriends. Matching lime sherbet earmuffs clung to their bobbing heads. Honest to God, if Heidi Darling wore a grocery bag on her head, then a bunch of other people would start wearing grocery bags on their heads. Elizabeth once made a vest out of grocery bags for a recycling project. She wore it a few times, but it never caught on. Standing there, red-handed, my brain kind of froze. But Heidi's legs didn't freeze. She sped down that sidewalk, a smirk taking up half her face. "So, Katrina, I see you're drinking our coffee now." "I don't blame you. The Vincent Mocha is the best." "I'm not drinking it." "Why are you holding it, then?" "I'm not holding it." I marched over to the garbage can and tossed the sample cup and its contents. What else could I do? It was one of the most embarrassing moments of my life, like when a vegetarian gets caught with a hunk of prime rib. Heidi followed me. So did her clones. "Well, it's sure to be a hit. Vincent's famous. We're such good friends." That really got me. I wanted to say, "He's not your friend, he's my friend." Imagine if we all went around telling people exactly what we were thinking. We'd all sound like a bunch of third graders. "My Vincent drink will be so much better than your Vincent drink." Instead, I pretended not to care. Whatever. I mumbled, hurrying back to the safety of Anna's, right into my grandmother's overly curious gaze. "Do you know that boy?" Grandma Anna asked. "What boy?" "The boy who gave you the coffee." "No, I don't know him." "Oh, that's too bad. I thought maybe he was a new friend." She limped towards her desk. Her legs always stiffened at the end of the day. "I don't know how they expect people to buy such small cups of coffee. Who would buy such a tiny cup? Maybe someone with anorexia." "Those are sample cups," I explained. "They're free." "Free?" Grandma Anna shuffled through the mail pile. "How can they afford to give away so much samples? Organic coffee is expensive." She shook her head as she examined each envelope. "Oh dear." "What?" "Never you mind." "Grandma." Maybe she'd finally talk to me about our finances. Maybe she'd let me help. "Grandma, I know we're having troubles. I heard you talking to the bank." "That's none of your concern. I can manage." She pursed her lips as she opened one of the envelopes. A cold breeze passed through the room, rustling the mail. Irmgard? Grandma Anna called, "Close that door, it's cold out." The mail rustled again. Irmgard? I went back to the kitchen. The coffeehouse's front door stood wide open. Irmgard was outside looking up the sidewalk. Irmgard? She wore a dazed, unblinking expression and fiddled with a cross that hung from a long chain, the only piece of jewelry she ever wore. Irmgard! I tapped her on the arm. She blinked, then ran back into the shop. Irmgard? I said, following. What's the matter? She shook her head, then grabbed her coat and purse, nearly knocking over Mr. Darling on her way out. "Why won't someone close that door?" Grandma Anna complained, limping into the kitchen. "What do you want?" she snarled. Mr. Darling leaned against the door's frame. "Just checking to see if you've given my offer any more thought. I'm anxious to get started on the remodel before tourist season begins." "Well, good for you." She tried to close the door, but his big head was in the way. "Here's what I'm willing to pay. It's a generous sum." He held out a piece of paper. "I'm not interested." He continued to hold out the paper, but she just folded her arms and glared at him, her neck straining for height. I folded my arms and glared at him too, a unified front against his invasion. He raised his eyebrows and then tucked the paper into his pocket. "You'll change your mind, one way or another." After he left, Grandma Anna deflated back to her soft self, but she was in no mood to talk. "Go upstairs and do your homework. I'll finish up down here." "You sure?" "Yes." She headed back to the office. "I can't imagine what got into Irmgard. She never leaves without hugging me goodbye." I grabbed my backpack and headed upstairs, cursing Heidi Darling with each step. One more second and I could have escaped with the sample cup. At least I knew some of the ingredients. I still needed to call Vincent to ask if he'd come and sign cups for the Solstice Festival, and I needed to call Elizabeth. She'd design a great logo for our version of the Vincent Mocha. We'd use double the whipped cream and buy peppermint straws the size of walrus tusks. No one answered the phone at Vincent's house. I left a message. "Hey, congratulations, I didn't get to talk to you today. You're so famous. Can I have your autograph?" I laughed self-consciously. "I'm really, really happy for you. You got it made. A full scholarship. That's great. Really, really great. I got this idea and I'm hoping you can help. So call me." No one answered at Elizabeth's either. I dumped the contents of my backpack onto the bed. I did a page of geometry, memorized the parts of a cell for biology, then stared at a blank piece of paper. Mr. Williams wanted us to write a good deed story, 3 to 5 pages for Friday. If I wrote about giving Malcolm some day-old pastries, I risked coming off as a braggart. "Oh, look at me, I help homeless people." Or I'd come off as really cheap. Why didn't she give him something that wasn't day-old? I decided to write about Vincent's good deed. I wrote a paragraph, but the incident with Heidi kept intruding. I kept seeing that smug look on her earmuff-framed face. Me just standing there holding the cup. Like all embarrassing incidents, this one took on a life of its own. "Relive me," it whispered over and over. "Are you starting to get somewhere with your homework? Well, we can't have that, so it's time to relive me again." Why had I just stood there watching Malcolm walk away, staring at his legs like an idiot? If only I'd gone straight to the coffee house. The phone rang. Before I could say hello, Elizabeth screamed, "Turn on Channel 7, Vincent's on the news." Sure enough, there he stood, in his swim team sweatshirt, calmly answering Brad Stone's questions. His straight black hair looked extra chlorine shiny on TV. I might have noticed that he spoke eloquently and that he seemed more mature than his 16 years. I might have noticed that he looked happier than I'd ever seen him look. But all I noticed was the Java Heaven coffee cup that he held in his right hand.